Hello, my name's Lisa, and in today's video, we're going to be catching up on the 9-month world cruise drama. And boy, is this video going to be full of boiling hot tea that has not been spilt before. So stay tuned to the end, otherwise, you are going to miss what is happening. And you don't want to be doing that now, do you? And the first person we're going to hear from is a TikToker called Christian Hull.
I have found out that when the cruise docks in LA, everyone is being physically removed from the boat. That get out, boo, boo, out you get, boo, boo. That's the alarm that will sound. Coast Guard comes on and does a full sweep of the ship. Look, they're getting on to make sure that the ship's safety protocols and drills are up to standard. I don't know why they can't do that with passengers on the ship, but the Coast Guard is basically kicking everyone off, doing a quick sweep and a run through to make sure everything's good.
As we can see, this was recorded before he actually got onto the ship. But it is normal that the Coast Guard inspect ships. They do it all the time. I have to admit, I've not had a Coast Guard inspection when I've actually been aboard a ship, but there has been one before we've gotten onto the ship. And it is normal to do it without passengers.
Top tier Pinnacle status member Adita has said she does not like it soft, she likes it hard. Those are her words, not mine. She's talking about ice cream. She is sick to death of the soft serve ice cream. She's like, no more. No more of this soft, soupy shit. I am a Pinnacle member. I want it hard. Go out and find some hard ice cream. And Royal Caribbean said, yes, Adita, we're scared of you. We will source. Did it.
That is one major thing that I love about cruising. If they haven't got something on board and it's something that a lot of people request, if it is at all possible, they will provide it for you. Next up, we're going to hear from NC Mad. Hope I'm saying that right. And she appears not to be on the ship, but has quite a few opinions and some great questions.
I have so many thoughts. Like, can you imagine eating cruise ship food for 9 months? At first, it may seem cool, but after a while, I don't know if I can handle it because I was on a cruise for 7 days and I was over it. So 9 months is pushing it.
I definitely couldn't imagine eating cruise food for 9 months. No. Having been on a cruise for 18 days, I'm normally sick of it by about day 10, and I just crave normal food that I would eat at home. The only difference on a cruise ship, though, is where you're going, and the food is usually from the region of the places that you're visiting. So it does change, but it still doesn't really appeal to me. No.
Everyone on board has access to unlimited alcohol. Unlimited alcohol for 9 months? That's insane.
I agree that having 9 months of unlimited alcohol is totally insane.
700 people on one cruise ship for 9 months. Can you imagine the type of drama that's going to happen on that boat? The relationships that are going to be forming, the jealousy, friendships. Like, I want to see all of it.
With hundreds and even thousands of people on a ship, there is always some kind of drama. And obviously, these TikTokers are taking massive advantage of that. And Royal Caribbean don't seem to be too impressed at the moment, which in a way I can understand.
700 people in the middle of the ocean. This is basically a community, a small town. Everybody about to get to know everybody. But then I also think about the cruise ship, like the boat. Hoping that everything goes smoothly, no technical difficulties. Like, I have so many thoughts. I'm stressed. I'm excited. I'm nervous. This kind of feels like a social experiment. Because, like, why would you want to be on the water for 9 months? 5 to 7 days on the water? Cool. 9 months? Absolutely not. But what are y'all thoughts? Could you do it? Could you be on a cruise ship for 9 months?
No, I couldn't be on a cruise ship for 9 months as much as I love doing it. Let's see how Christian is getting on board the ship.
Just to give you an idea currently of the movement of the ship, because it's really hard to translate just how rocky it is on camera. Mark Sebastian told me to rig up this coat hanger and then put a piece of clothing on it. I'm going to do one better. I'm going to put my phone on it. Ooh. It's really severe. Oh, that's exactly, every movement of the phone is exactly what I feel internally. I can feel, it is, oh my God. Oh my God. When you feel it shudder like that, it means that the boat's hitting a wave, the bow of it is coming up, and as it comes down, it forces the water out, so it sort of goes.
Just seems like a normal movement of the ship to me. I don't think there's anything bad in what he's showing you. Yes, obviously it moves, it's a ship and it's being hit by big waves. And that's okay if you're not seasick, but he does get seasick. I don't, and I think that movement is beautiful and I love it when I'm struggling to go to sleep and you get the gentle rocking of the ship. It certainly helps me to sleep.
And it's real. Oh my God! The waves! The waves! I'm going to film the waves for you. These waves don't look as severe on camera as they do in person.
The waves don't look that bad because he's on deck 7. So if they're 3 meters or 4 meters, that's quite a few feet in the air. But when you're on deck 7, you could be as much as 80 to 100 feet above them. So that's why they don't look as bad on the camera as they do when you're on them. But even so, those waves are not that big, to be fair. Would you feel seasick in waves like that? Now we're going to listen to another TikToker who's not on the ship, and she makes a good point as well.
Real life drama is starting to unfold on the 9-month cruise. The drama about being around your family, husband, wife for a little too long in such a cramped space. Now, I know you can sit here and be like, no, I love my family. That won't happen. Imagine the only space that you have to yourself is this tiny little room. From my understanding with cruise ships, mind you, I've never been on one. I don't think there's many places that you can go outside of your room that are just your own. As someone who has like social battery that can easily be filled, I need to go by myself for a moment. Yeah, I can see how this could totally get overwhelming. Well,
it's not hard to get away from someone that's annoying you, even if it is your partner or the person that you're sharing a room with. But yes, it is or can be difficult to be on your own. But if you go on the deck, you can sit on a sun lounger on your own and read, or you can go into the theatre and watch a show on your own. Yes, you're going to be surrounded by other people, but you don't actually have to interact with them. So, yes, if you want to be totally alone, that could be very difficult unless you locked yourself into the toilet, for example, or you went and sat out. If you've got a balcony, you went and sat on that and you said to the person that's annoying you, will you go there and I'll go there? There are ways around it.
Gigi is dropping the tea about what's happening in the laundry room. As she puts in a post, she promised the good, bad, and the ugly, so here it goes. She stayed on the cruise that day in order to do laundry. At 10:30 a.m., she already heard a couple arguing in the hallway. She went into the laundry room. The women had taken the husband's clothes and just threw them all on the ground while they're wet, saying that she could no longer live with him in their tiny room. Gigi stated she tried to help this lady and give her some tips because she was used to living in a smaller space with her husband, but it seems like this lady is just over it. I hope for her sake, maybe maybe she's not on the full 9 months, just doing, a few of the places. But yeah, I love my family, but my goodness. My siblings and I had to share one room with each other on this cruise, and we also had nowhere else to go. We were just by ourselves. I can't imagine it being amazing, put it that way.
Even though I am a really big people person, I couldn't imagine being on the ship for 9 months and being around the same people for that whole amount of time. That would definitely feel like a major chore to me. This last video is going to be a couple of complaints and suggestions from Christian. I've got to say, he is hilarious. I love watching him.
I'm on board the Ultimate World Cruise. Passengers are on here for 9 months at a time. Not me. I'm just on here for 16 days. So I'm going to tell you what life is really like. Unlike the drama on this Ultimate World Cruise, let's start with simple, shall we? I've got some things to suggest to you, Royal Caribbean. The first thing is a really simple one. Okay? And that is, could you please, for the love of God, put an off switch on the air conditioning in my room? My sinuses are not coping. I want to show you what I have to deal with 24/7 in my room. Let me hold my microphone up to the air conditioning. 24/7. There is not a single drop of moisture in this room. I wake up, my throat is a desert wasteland. And my eyes are like a dried husk of a sponge. I can't even open my eyelids. It is so excruciating.
As a person who really hates aircon, I can understand where you are coming from there, Christian. I wouldn't like that at all. But I have to say, I've never been on a cruise ship where I couldn't turn it off. There has always been an off switch. So I find that quite confusing that you can't turn it off. One thing I do like about aircon though is I like it that you can actually turn it up and make your cabin warmer if you want to.
All right, I need to sit down for tasty. I've got the tastiest, juiciest bit of goss for you. I put a pineapple magnet on my door and then I turned it upside down. I waited a few days, thinking nothing would come of it. Do you know what I got? Slid. Underneath my door was a very inconspicuous note with 2 names and a room number.
As you can see, I saved the best bit of gossip for last. If you don't know what an upside down pineapple is on a cruise ship, it means that you are a swinger. So if you put a pineapple on your door upside down, that means you would like to engage with other swingers. So it's hardly surprising that someone slid a note under his door to make him aware that there were other swingers on board and they would like to get to know him better. Well, that's it for today's video. I hope you've enjoyed the drama of the 9 month cruise. I'm sure there'll be more. Have an amazing day and I'll see you on the next video. Ta-ta for now.